Charlize Theron is a South African and American actress and producer. One of the world's highest-paid actresses, she is the recipient of an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award. In 2016, Time named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world. She came to international prominence in the 1990s by playing the leading lady in the Hollywood films The Devil's Advocate, 1997, Mighty Joe Young, 1998, and The Cider House Rules, 1999. She received critical acclaim for her portrayal of serial killer Aileen Wuornos in Monster, 2003, for which she won the Silver Bear and Academy Award for Best Actress, becoming the first South African to win an acting Oscar. She received another Academy Award nomination for playing a sexually abused woman seeking justice in the drama North Country, 2005. She has starred in several commercially successful action films including The Italian Job 2003, Hancock 2008, Prometheus 2012, Mad Max, Fury Road 2015, Atomic Blonde 2017, and The Old Guard 2020, as well as several Fast and Furious installments, The Fate of the Furious 2017, F9 2021, and Fast X 2023. She received praise for playing troubled women in Jason Reitman's comedy dramas Young Adult 2011 and Tully 2018, and for portraying Megyn Kelly in the biographical drama Bombshell 2019. She received her third Academy Award nomination. Since the early 2000s, she has ventured into film production with her company Denver and Delilah Productions. She has produced numerous films, many in which she had a starring role, including The Burning Plane 2008, Dark Places 2015, and Long Shot 2019. Theron became an American citizen in 2007, while retaining her South African citizenship. Charlize Theron was born in South Africa, in Benoni in Transvaal Province. She is the only child of road builders Gerda and Charles Theron. Her great-granduncle was Second Boer War military leader Daniel Theron. She is from an Afrikaner family, and her ancestry includes Dutch as well as French and German. Her French forebears were early Huguenots in South Africa. Although Theron is fluent in English, her first language is Afrikaans. She grew up on her parents' farm in Benoni, near Johannesburg. When Theron was 15 on June 21, 1991, her mother killed her father in self-defense. It happened after her father, an alcoholic, drunkenly attacked her mother and fired a gun at Charlize and her mother. Theron's mother retrieved her own handgun, shot back and killed him. The shooting was legally adjudged to have been self-defense, and her mother faced no charges. Growing up, Theron felt she did not fit in at school and was teased by other girls. She was frequently unwell with jaundice throughout childhood, and the antibiotics she was administered made her upper incisor baby teeth rot. They had to be surgically removed. Theron's permanent teeth did not grow until she was roughly 10 years old. She attended Pootfontein Primary School, Laerskool Pootfontein. At 13, Theron was sent to boarding school and began her studies at the National School of the Arts in Johannesburg. About her early life in her home country, Theron has said, "I grew up as an only child in South Africa, and there was turmoil in my family, but the surroundings were so great. I was usually barefoot in the dirt. No Game Boys, no computers, and we had sanctions, so there were no concerts. This meant you had to entertain yourself." Although she saw herself as a dancer, Theron left South Africa at age 16 to begin a modeling career in Europe. That same year, she won a one-year modeling contract at a local competition in Salerno, Italy, and moved with her mother to Milan, Italy. After Theron spent a year modeling throughout Europe, she and her mother moved to the United States. They resided in New York City and Miami. In New York, she attended the Joffrey Ballet School, where she trained as a ballet dancer until a knee injury closed this career path. As Theron recalled in 2008, in 1994, Theron flew to Los Angeles on a one-way ticket her mother bought for her. She intended to work in the film industry. During her initial months there, she lived in a motel with the $300 budget that her mother had given her. She continued receiving checks from New York and lived from paycheck to paycheck. Theron stole bread from a basket in a restaurant to survive. One day, she went to a Hollywood Boulevard bank to cash a few checks, including one her mother had sent to help with the rent. However, the check from her mother was rejected because it was out of state and she was not an American citizen. Theron argued and pleaded with the bank teller until talent agent John Crosby, who was the next customer behind her, cashed it for her and gave her his business card. Crosby introduced Theron to an acting school. In 1995, she played her first non-speaking film role in the horror film Children of the Corn 3: Urban Harvest. In Theron's first speaking role, she portrayed hitwoman Helga Svelgen in 2 Days in the Valley, 1996. Despite the film's mixed reviews, Theron drew attention due to her beauty, and to a scene in which she fought Terry Hatcher's character. Theron feared being typecast as characters similar to Helga and recalled being asked to repeat her performance in the film during auditions. A lot of people were saying, "You should just hit while the iron's hot." But playing the same part over and over doesn't leave you with any longevity. And I knew it was going to be harder for me, because of what I look like, to branch out to different kinds of roles. When auditioning for Showgirls, Theron was introduced to talent agent J.J. Harris by co-casting director Johanna Ray. She recalled being surprised at how much faith Harris had in her potential. Theron has referred to Harris as her mentor. Harris found scripts and films for Theron in a variety of genres, and encouraged her to become a producer. She served as Theron's agent for over 15 years. Theron's career expanded by the end of the 1990s. In the horror drama The Devil's Advocate, 1997, which is credited as her breakout film, Theron starred alongside Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino as the haunted wife of an unusually successful lawyer. She subsequently starred in the adventure film Mighty Joe Young, 1998, as the friend and protector of a giant mountain gorilla, and in the drama The Cider House Rules, 1999, as a woman who seeks an abortion in World War II-era Maine. While Mighty Joe Young flopped at the box office, The Devil's Advocate and The Cider House Rules were commercially successful. She appeared on the cover of the January 1999 issue of Vanity Fair as the White Hot Venus. The May 1999 issue of Playboy magazine also featured Theron on its cover. The photos of Theron used by Playboy had been taken several years earlier when she was an unknown model, and Theron unsuccessfully sued the magazine for publishing them without her consent. By the early 2000s, Theron continued to steadily take on roles in films such as Reindeer Games, 2000, The Yards, 2000, The Legend of Bagger Vance, 2000, Men of Honor, 2000, Sweet November, 2001, The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, 2001, and Trapped, 2002, all of which, despite achieving only limited commercial success, helped to establish her as an actress. On this period in her career, Theron remarked, "I kept finding myself in a place where directors would back me but studios didn't. I began a love affair with directors, the ones I really truly admired. I found myself making really bad movies too. Reindeer Games was not a good movie, but I did it because I loved director John Frankenheimer." Theron starred as a safe and vault technician in the 2003 heist film The Italian Job, an American remake of the 1969 British film of the same name, directed by F. Gary Gray and opposite Mark Wahlberg, Edward Norton, Jason Statham, Seth Green, and Donald Sutherland. The film was a box office success, grossing $176 million worldwide. In Monster, 2003, Theron portrayed serial killer Aileen Wuornos, a former prostitute who was executed in Florida in 2002 for killing 6 men. She was not tried for a 7th murder. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, film critic Roger Ebert felt that Theron gave one of the greatest performances in the history of the cinema. For her portrayal, she was awarded the Academy Award for Best Actress at the 76th Academy Awards in February 2004, as well as the Screen Actors Guild Award and the Golden Globe Award. She is the first South African to win an Oscar for Best Actress. The Oscar win pushed her to the Hollywood Reporter's 2006 list of highest-paid actresses in Hollywood, earning up to $10 million for a film. She ranked 7th. Ask Men named her the #1 most desirable woman of 2003. For her role as Swedish actress and singer Britt Ekland in the 2004 HBO film, The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, Theron garnered Golden Globe Award and Primetime Emmy Award nominations. In 2005, she portrayed Rita, the mentally challenged love interest of Michael Bluth, Jason Bateman, on the 3rd season of Fox's television series Arrested Development, and starred in the financially unsuccessful science fiction thriller Aeon Flux. For her voiceover work in the Aeon Flux video game, she received a Spike Video Game Award for Best Performance by a Human Female. In the critically acclaimed drama North Country, 2005, Theron played a single mother and an iron mine worker experiencing sexual harassment. David Rooney of Variety wrote, "The film represents a confident next step for lead Charlize Theron. Though the challenges of following a career-redefining Oscar role have stymied actresses, Theron segues from monster to a performance in many ways more accomplished. The strength of both the performance and character anchor the film firmly in the tradition of other dramas about working-class women, leading the fight over industrial workplace issues, such as Norma Rae or Silkwood." Roger Ebert echoed the same sentiment, calling her an actress who has the beauty of a fashion model, but has found resources within herself for these powerful roles about unglamorous women in the world of men. For her performance, she received Academy Award and Golden Globe Award nominations for Best Actress. Ms. Magazine honored her for this performance with a feature article in its fall 2005 issue. On September 30, 2005, Theron received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2007, Theron played a police detective in the critically acclaimed crime film In the Valley of Elah, and produced and starred as a reckless, slatternly mother in the drama film Sleepwalking, alongside Nick Stahl and Anna Sophia Robb. The Christian Science Monitor praised the latter film, commenting that despite its deficiencies, and the inadequate screen time allotted to Theron, who's quite good, Sleepwalking has a core of feeling. In 2008, Theron starred as a woman who faced a traumatic childhood in the drama The Burning Plane, directed by Guillermo Arriaga and opposite Jennifer Lawrence and Kim Basinger, and played the ex-wife of an alcoholic superhero alongside Will Smith in the superhero film Hancock. The Burning Plane found a limited release in U.S. theaters, but grossed $5,267,917 outside the U.S. Hancock made $624.3 million worldwide. Also in 2008, Theron was named the Hasty Pudding Theatricals Woman of the Year, and was asked to be a UN Messenger of Peace by the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon. Her film releases in 2009 were the post-apocalyptic drama The Road, in which she briefly appears in flashbacks, and the animated film Astro Boy, providing her voice for a character. On December 4, 2009, Theron co-presented the draw for the 2010 FIFA World Cup in Cape Town, South Africa, accompanied by several other celebrities of South African nationality or ancestry. During rehearsals she drew an Ireland ball instead of France as a joke at the expense of FIFA, referring to Thierry Henry's handball controversy in the playoff match between France and Ireland. The stunt alarmed FIFA enough for it to fear she might do it again in front of a live global audience. Following a 2-year hiatus from films, Theron returned to the spotlight in 2011 with the black comedy Young Adult. Directed by Jason Reitman, the film earned critical acclaim, particularly for her performance as a depressed, divorced, alcoholic 37-year-old ghostwriter. Richard Roper awarded the film an A grade, stating Charlize Theron delivers one of the most impressive performances of the year. She was nominated for a Golden Globe Award and several other awards. Roger Ebert called her one of the best actors working today. In 2012, Theron took on the role of villain in 2 big-budgeted films. She played evil Queen Ravenna, Snow White's evil stepmother, in Snow White and the Huntsman, opposite Kristen Stewart and Chris Hemsworth, and appeared as a crew member with a hidden agenda in Ridley Scott's Prometheus. Mick LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle found Snow White and the Huntsman to be a slow, boring film that has no charm and is highlighted only by a handful of special effects and Charlize Theron's truly evil queen, while The Hollywood Reporter writer Todd McCarthy, describing her role in Prometheus, asserted, "Theron is in ice goddess mode here, with the emphasis on ice. But perfect for the role all the same." Both films were major box office hits, grossing around $400 million internationally each. The following year Vulture/New York Mag named her the 68th most valuable star in Hollywood, saying, "We're just happy that Theron can stay on the list in a year when she didn't come out with anything. Any actress who's got that kind of skill, beauty, and ferocity ought to have a permanent place in Hollywood." On May 10, 2014, Theron hosted Saturday Night Live on NBC. In 2014, Theron took on the role of the wife of an infamous outlaw in the Western comedy film A Million Ways to Die in the West, directed by Seth MacFarlane, which was met with mediocre reviews and moderate box office returns. In 2015, Theron played the sole survivor of the massacre of her family in the film adaptation of the Gillian Flynn novel Dark Places, directed by Gillis Paquette Brenner, in which she had a producer credit, and starred as Imperator Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road 2015, opposite Tom Hardy. Mad Max received widespread critical acclaim, with praise going towards Theron for the dominant nature taken by her character. The film made $378.4 million worldwide. She next reprised her role as Queen Ravenna in the 2016 film The Huntsman. Winter's War, a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman, which was a critical and commercial failure. In 2016, Theron starred as a physician and activist working in West Africa in the little-seen romantic drama The Last Face, with Sean Penn, provided her voice for the 3D stop-motion fantasy film Kubo and the Two Strings, and produced the independent drama Brain on Fire. That year, Time named her in the Time 100 list of the most influential people in the world. In 2017, Theron starred in The Fate of the Furious as the cyber-terrorist Cypher, the main antagonist of the entire franchise, and played a spy on the eve of the collapse of the Berlin Wall in 1989 in Atomic Blonde, an adaptation of the graphic novel The Coldest City, directed by David Leitch. The Fate of the Furious had a worldwide gross of $1.2 billion, and Atomic Blonde was described by Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times as a slick vehicle for the magnetic, badass charms of Charlize Theron, who is now officially an A-list action star on the strength of this film and Mad Max Fury Road. In the black comedy Tully 2018, directed by Jason Reitman and written by Diablo Cody, Theron played an overwhelmed mother of three. The film was acclaimed by critics, who concluded it delves into the modern parenthood experience with an admirably deft blend of humor and raw honesty, brought to life by an outstanding performance by Charlize Theron. She played the president of a pharmaceutical corporation in the crime film Gringo, and produced the biographical war drama film A Private War, both released in 2018. In 2019, Theron produced and starred in the romantic comedy film Long Shot, opposite Seth Rogen and directed by Jonathan Levine, portraying a U.S. Secretary of State who reconnects with a journalist she used to babysit. The film had its world premiere at South by Southwest in March, and was released on May 3 to positive reviews from film critics. Theron next starred as Megyn Kelly in the drama Bombshell, which she co-produced. Directed by Jay Roach, the film revolves around the sexual harassment allegations made against Fox News CEO Roger Ailes by former female employees. For her work in the film, Theron was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress, Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Actress, Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. That year, Forbes ranked her as the 9th highest-paid actress in the world, with an annual income of $23 million. In 2020, she produced and starred opposite Kiki Lane in the superhero film The Old Guard, directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. The following year, she reprised her role as Cypher in F9, originally set for release on May 22, 2020, before its delay to June 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2022, Theron appeared in several projects. Upon the film's release in May, it was revealed that Theron would portray the character Clea in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Beginning with her debut in the mid-credits scene of the superhero film Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. She played Lady Lesso in the fantasy Netflix film The School for Good and Evil, and filmed a cameo in the third season opener of The Boys as an actress playing Stormfront. In 2023, Theron reprised her role as Cypher in Fast X and executive produced the HBO documentary series Last Call, when a serial killer stalked queer New York about a serial killer preying on gay men. In 2024, she was cast in Christopher Nolan's upcoming epic film The Odyssey, 2026. She participated in the 2026 Winter Olympics opening ceremony, held in Milan's San Siro Stadium.